It's Monday, January 12th. Protests held in Ottawa and across the nation as the U.S. threatens military intervention in Iran.
3 people extricated from vehicles after a head-on crash on Prince of Wales Drive.
That was a serious case.
A local skate shop got a high-profile visitor. Prime Minister Mark Carney sharpens his skates into peeing. Your morning Ottawa starts right now.
Good Monday morning. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Willie Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Hopefully everyone had a great weekend. We're going to start with our news headlines, and we're going to start across the border as U.S. President Donald Trump says that Iran has pitched negotiations after he threatened action in response to a nationwide crackdown on demonstrators where the death toll has surpassed 500.
Iran wants to negotiate, yes.
Negotiate what?
We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up, but we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting. But a meeting is being set up. Iran called, they want to negotiate.
Protesters are flooding the streets and fires are burning across the country for more than 2 weeks against the country's regime. As the government's communications blackout continues, a U.S. human rights agency says over 10,000 people have been detained so far. And demonstrations were also held on Parliament Hill and in other Canadian cities. Iranians here in our region say that they are nervous about their families back home in the Middle Eastern country, holding on to hope that the regime will be toppled.
This government is an Islamic regime who doesn't care about the basic human rights of the people. We are here just to be the voice of people who are taken hostage inside the country, and they are demanding their own basic human rights.
Protesters are calling on the Canadian government to stand with the Iranian people to defeat the Islamic Republic and support the people's transition to democracy.
3 people were injured in a head-on collision on Prince of Wales Drive. Firefighters had to extricate both drivers from the wreckage. Paramedics say all 3 people involved were taken to the trauma center. One man is in critical condition, while another man and a woman were transported in stable condition. This happened on Prince of Wales, south of Hunt Club Road yesterday morning, and crews remained on scene for much of the day. Prime Minister Mark Carney is set to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping tomorrow in an effort to break the ice and boost trade after nearly a decade of frosty relations.
We have to talk to each other if we want to make progress and address issues. We have now unlocked a path forward to address current issues and to build the enormous opportunities between our 2 countries.
Trade talks will be high on the agenda as Mark Carney makes the first official trip to China by a Canadian prime minister in nearly a decade. China has slapped a 100% tariff on Canadian canola, a retaliatory move to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles.
Artificial Intelligence Minister Evan Solomon says Canada is not considering a ban on the social media platform X. The social media giant owned by Elon Musk has drawn global criticism over sexualized deepfakes created by X's AI chatbot Grok. Asked if the government is considering taking any other actions, a spokesperson for Solomon said more information will soon be available. 2 projects allowing for more travelers to be screened well in advance of crossing the Canada-U.S. border are set to come into effect this year. Public Safety Canada says pre-clearance is meant to make it easier for officials to intercept threats before people or goods cross the border. It allows travelers to U.S. to enter the country or catch a connecting flight more quickly because they've already been cleared.
The province is considering new regulations that would ban certain procedures on cats and dogs, which animal experts have deemed to be medically unnecessary. The proposal suggests it would no longer be permitted for owners to get their cats declawed. It would also become illegal to debark a dog by operating on their vocal cords or to crop their ears. The province says veterinarians would still be permitted to carry out any procedure deemed necessary for the animal's well-being. The Ministry of the Solicitor General is accepting feedback on the proposed rule changes until February 5th. Canadian talent was shining bright in Hollywood at the Golden Globes.
Golden Globe goes to
Seth Rogen.
British Columbia's Seth Rogen won Best Male Actor in a TV series, musical, or comedy for his role in The Studio. Among the other winners, Canadian director Maggie Kang's K-pop Demon Hunters picked up the award for Best Animated Motion Picture and Best Original Song for the tune Golden.
The Charge played in another PWHL takeover game, this time in Halifax against the Boston Fleet, and it was a nail-biter.
great turnover. Has Jenner. They've got numbers. Jenner shoots and scores!
Charge captain Brienne Jenner with her 7th goal of the year. That would tie it up at 1 in the 3rd, and eventually the game would go to a shootout. Katerina Morozova with a beautiful move in the shootout that would be the winner. Ottawa has now won 6 straight games. They play again tomorrow night in Montreal against the Victory.
A local skate shop got a high-profile visitor.
That was a serious skate. We got sparkles.
Be sharp in Nepean. Let Prime Minister Mark Carney take a turn on the skate sharpening machine. Carney said the smell took him back to his younger days on the rink.
There is a certain smell, isn't there? The Prime Minister is a known hockey fan, having laced up his skates on the Rideau Canal this season.
In a great spot. I've been there many times back in the day, get my skates sharp there in Nepean. So cool to see him locally and then obviously going for a skate on the canal.
Yeah, absolutely. So cool.
Yeah.
No great skating weather today. It's going to stay mild at the beginning of the week, but by the end of the work week, we're going to have some colder conditions, which will be great news for the canal.
And we talked about that too. You know, we knew that it was this nice little stretch here. It was going to be nice for us to be outside, but it was going to take a toll on some of those outdoor activities.
But good news for the ski hills today.
That's also right. Woo!
We are expecting some snow later on this morning, and temps this morning still a little cold, but yes, not so bad for this time of the year. Will be quite a mild day. -9 currently does feel closer to -14, -15 with that wind chill. -10 to start off the day in the valley, -8 in Cornwall, -7 in Brockville. Not registering quite yet this morning in Kingston. Right now we're seeing cloudy conditions, so we'll start off cloudy, but then around 10 o'clock after you've gotten to work, we are expecting some snow to start. So snow off and on throughout the day ahead. We are expecting about 2 centimeters in total, so just some nice fresh powder for the ski hills. It will snow right through until about 5-6 p.m. Then it should taper off. We are expecting still some flurries into your overnight evening hours as well. Then into your day tomorrow, we're going to see some snowy conditions to begin this work week tomorrow and through Wednesday. There is a chance we could see some more snow on the way. So we'll start off snowy this week. It will be quite mild into the afternoon as well. 0 is your daytime high for today. Again, we are expecting about 2 centimeters in total into your afternoon. Here are your look at your daytime highs today. 0 throughout most of the region today. Everybody getting to see some fresh snow. -1 in Bancroft, 0 as well out in the valley. And Petawawa, -3 is your daytime high over in Mont-Tremblant. So in the 7-day forecast, a little mixture of everything on the way for us. 0 for today, 2 centimeters of snow. Chance of scattered flurries Tuesday in through Wednesday. You can see temperatures will stay mild in through the middle of the work week. Then after that, overnight Wednesday is when we're going to see a turn. The cold weather is back. Thursday and through Friday, Saturday, quite chilly. Temperatures will be below seasonal as we head towards the end of the work week. Daytime highs on Thursday of -11. On your roads this morning, here's a live look at your time-saver traffic. Nothing to see on your roads. Everything is looking pretty good. Smooth sailing this morning, and we are collision-free. Now let's check out your TSN must-see moment.
How's it going? Jermaine Franklin inside the TSN Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For it, we go to Philly. 49ers, Eagles, Sky Moore takes the handoff, tosses it to Jawan Jennings, and yes, he's going to throw it. Christian McCaffrey wide open, makes a great grab for the TD. What a great play from the Niners offense. The trickery catches the defense sleeping. Jennings also threw a touchdown to McCaffrey in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. That helped San Fran upset the champs, and it's your must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, it's Monday Night Football NFL Playoffs edition. Texans taking on the Steelers to wrap up Wild Card Weekend. Coverage begins at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's all from the SportsCenter newsroom. Have a great day.
Well, coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, the country's best figure skaters. They were all competing in Gatineau for an opportunity to represent Canada in the Olympics. We will share some of those details coming up later on in the show. For now, we take a peek outside through our Centennial Glass sky cam. Snowfall on the way, little cool this morning, but not too cold this afternoon. Stay with us. Happy Monday. It is 6:10 and 17 seconds.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. The death toll from protests in Iran has surpassed 500 as U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran wants to take 3 people were injured. Wants to talk, rather. 3 people were injured in a head-on collision on Prince of Wales Drive. 1 man is in critical condition. Canada's AI minister says the country is not considering a ban on the social media platform X over a deepfake controversy. Now let's check out the forecast.
And still feeling a little cool this morning, especially with what we've been used to over the last couple of days. Mild temperatures continue this afternoon, but we will see some snowfall with a chance for some flurries continuing into the evening window. Melissa will break down the rest of the week once you return for our full forecast. Taking a peek outside on the roads at this hour, everything is looking quite clear. Those flurries haven't begun quite yet, but as they start to fall from the skies, we'll see if we have any detours, and we'll let you know of anything happening throughout your morning commute.
Before going for gold in Milan, the Canadian National Figure Skating Championships wrapped up in Gatineau with a trip to the Winter Olympics on the line. A culmination of years of hard work came down to the wire last week, and CTV's Kimberly Johnson tells us fans say taking in the competition is an honor with so many excellent athletes in action.
The best skaters in Canada taking to the ice to battle it out one last time ahead of the Winter Olympic Games in Milan.
We love it. We just love it.
Friends Jane Tellier and Karen Candy attend the Canadian National Skating Championships every year.
16 for you and I, but you've done a lot more than that.
many more.
One from Vancouver, the other traveling from Brampton, crossing Canada together wherever it goes to see artistry in action.
Witness and feel the emotion of the skaters, the fans. This is a really, really intense sport.
It's fun. We get to see the skaters when they're first starting out and then follow their careers to hopefully Olympics.
Let's go, Sacco! And that artistry could lead some to the biggest stage of all, those who will represent Canada at the Olympics in Milan. First, need to impress competitions like this.
Overwhelming to be here to participate to such event, especially because it's an Olympic year.
Chosen to compete in the men's, women's, pair teams, and the ice dance disciplines, as well as the team event.
This is the best that we have to offer.
The results here at the Nationals at Centre Slush Puppy in Gatineau isn't the only event judges will use to decide the team. Skate Canada officials say judges will look at a body of work over the past couple of seasons.
It's years of work to get to this level and to be nominated to that team.
Fans cheering on their favorites, Canadian pride.
I'm from Gatineau, so of course I wanted to be here. It's the first time that we are hosting this quality of event, so of course I wanted to be here and share this experience.
To see them finally achieve their dreams, there's nothing cooler than that.
It's kind of incredible.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa.
You're looking for something that you might never see again.
Dozens of bird watchers converge on a street in Montreal to get a glimpse of a rare European sight. That coming up just ahead. We're going to take a peek outside through our Skycam on George Street. Still some snowfall on the ground with more on the way. Stay with us. Happy Monday, everybody. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. In Montreal, dozens of photographers and birdwatchers have been showing up to one particular neighborhood for many days. A rare European robin has been spotted on this side of the Atlantic, and as CTV's Christine Long tells us, the bird is becoming a bit of a celebrity.
January 7th, Sabrina Jacob was putting out her garbage when she saw a rare bird.
I watch birds, so I was like, I don't know this sound. So I just look up and I was like, well, I don't know this bird either. He came straight up in front of me for 2 seconds. I took the video.
As her video shows, it's a hardy little bird who usually lives in Europe, even as far north as Scandinavia.
I saw him every day since. I have beautiful pictures, yeah.
When she shared her videos of the bird, people started flocking for a glimpse of this European robin on this side of the Atlantic.
It's nice to see the bird. We love the bird, but it's not like a chase for us. It's more like spending time with the bird.
Fruit trees and green space in the area east of Dixon mean Lori Bellardine and other photographers have been able to take pictures every day, but it's a waiting game.
Waiting, and we'll hope to see if he shows up or not.
It just comes out like for 10 or 15 minutes at a time. So if you're not there at the right time, then you miss it.
How did this robin come here? Bird behaviorist Joël Coutu wonders if proximity to the port isn't a coincidence.
So it's possible that he hitched a ride and crossed the Atlantic Ocean. Other possibilities is the weather conditions as well. Lately in Europe, we've had these cold fronts, and Paris has had snow, and so it's possible these northern winds sort of pushed him here. I doubt he was carried in a luggage in a plane and released here, and it's possible he's been here for a while. So he could have been here for weeks or months, and maybe he did come during migration in the fall.
Some birders said they never thought they would see a European robin.
C'est comme prendre 5 cafés en même temps.
It's like having 5 coffees all at once, says this birder, and he's in good company here.
It wasn't even on the list. It wasn't within the realm of a possibility.
And you're looking for something that you might never see again.
During dark January days, Jacob's discovery has brought a lot of joy to this neighborhood.
Love, he makes it through the winter and he stays with us with the spring. I would love to.
Christine Long, CTV News.
Today on Your Morning Ottawa, we are asking for your comments on, as you get older, what do you care less about? Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. So we were talking about that just on Friday. Melissa, throw it over to you.
You know, I think for me, it's my personal appearance. I care less about what I look like now than I did over the years when I was younger. Like, there was a time I remember, like, I would not leave my house without being styled, looking good, and wearing makeup, and just, you know, fitting the bill. And then now, as I'm older, I care less about my appearance. I just don't have time like I used to, and I just care less. Like, now I leave the house without makeup on weekends. I rarely have any makeup on whatsoever, and I'm usually in like a hoodie and my sweats as soon as the show's over, like 9:01. I am in like my hoodie and my sweats, and that's what I tend to look like. And before, I wouldn't leave to the grocery store or anywhere like that. Now I'm like, go to the grocery store. I have to go pick up my kids at school. Right. I mean, I've worn my pajamas to pick up my kids at school. So I feel like as I age, I care less about my appearance and just what people are going to think about. I'm like,
But no matter what, daughter Lola always still just wants to look like her mama.
Yes, I do not look like this 24/7. Let me tell you that.
It's super cute.
What about you, El?
I would say probably as I got older too, like maybe in the last decade or so, became less interested about like what everybody thought about you. You know, in high school, it's like you always think, regardless of whether you want to admit it or not, you care about what other people think.
Yeah.
And I think as you get older, you start to realize that just surrounding yourself with people that you want to be around, who you love, actually is what's more important, and always being yourself. So just trying to do things that make you happy and always being yourself over anything else. And I will say that forever. Authenticity will carry you through a lifetime.
So true.
So I think as I've gotten older, that's something that I've really tried to hold strong, not caring what everyone else thinks about what I do with my life, because it's my life.
Yeah, so true. Along the same lines with me, I'm always very friendly and polite, but if somebody doesn't reciprocate that friendliness, I'm okay. I'll still say good morning, have a great day, and move right on. That used to bother me before. I said, how are you? Why don't you ask me the same thing? And it's like, no, I'm good. You know, this is who I am, so it's okay.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
I really wish we could get our staff too, because we had a powwow on Friday talking about all of our different coups. What do you care about anyway? What do you care less about? We do some little interviews behind the scenes.
All right, we're going to be hearing from you later in the show. We're asking, as you get older, what do you care less about? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. We'll be right back. I'm Rosie Edda.
Yeah, happy Monday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
I'm Melissa Lamb.
I know that people are probably looking to get to the canal this past weekend. We're a little bit disappointed with the temperatures and the precipitation that we saw, but it does look like in the future that canal has some hope again.
Absolutely. Great news for ski hills beginning of the week, and then good news for the canal end of the week. So it's a good combination.
There we go. Winter activities in full force. We'll get right to our news headlines before we take a look at the forecast, and we are going to begin in Iran, where activists say the death toll has surpassed 500 as we enter the third week of relentless nationwide protests against the country's regime. Iranians living in Canada taking to Parliament Hill Sunday in solidarity with the ongoing protests in Iran, calling for a regime change.
We, together with the Iranian people inside Iran, we want politicians to recognize Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi as the leader and provide support by giving maximum pressure on the regime and maximum support to the people of Iran to help them to get rid of this regime.
U.S. President Donald Trump says a meeting is being set up with Iran after he threatened action in response to a nationwide crackdown on demonstrators.
Iranian leaders, you better not start shooting, because we'll start shooting too.
I'm of the view that actually an external military attack will actually embolden the regime and undermine the cause of the protesters.
More than 10,000 people have been detained in Iran, according to a U.S. human rights agency.
Tensions remain high in the U.S. after a weekend of cross-country protests against ICE. Minneapolis remains at the center of tensions as ICE agents continue immigration crackdowns. The Trump administration now plans to send hundreds more federal agents into the city. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says they are being sent in to ensure the safety of immigration officers. Protests in the U.S. have been happening since Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent. The Trump administration continues to insist the agent who killed her was acting in self-defense. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne is in Washington today to talk trade. Minister Champagne is set to meet with his G7 counterparts to discuss critical minerals and supply chains. The meeting is being hosted by the U.S. Treasury Secretary. Last month, Champagne had said it's time to move on the extraction and refining of critical minerals in Canada. He also says Canada can help Europe move away from its dependence on China for critical minerals.
Artificial Intelligence Minister Evan Solomon says Canada is not considering a ban on the social media platform X. The social media giant owned by Elon Musk has drawn global criticism over sexualized deepfakes created by X's artificial intelligence chatbot, Grok. Asked if the government is considering taking any other actions, a spokesperson for Solomon said more information will soon be available.
Prime Minister Carney is set to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping tomorrow in an effort to break the ice and boost trade after nearly a decade of frosty relations.
We have to talk to each other if we want to make progress and address issues. We have now unlocked a path forward to address current issues and to build the enormous opportunities between our two countries.
Trade talks will be high on the agenda as Mark Carney makes the first official trip to China by a Canadian Prime Minister in nearly a decade. China has slapped a 100% tariff on Canadian canola, a retaliatory move to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles. 3 people were injured in a head-on collision on Prince of Wales Drive. Firefighters had to extricate both drivers from the wreckage. Paramedics say all 3 people involved were taken to the trauma center. One man is in critical condition, while another man and a woman were transported in stable condition. This happened on Prince of Wales, south of Hunt Club Road yesterday morning, and crews remained on scene for much of the day.
2 projects allowing more travelers to be screened well in advance of crossing the Canada-U.S. border are set to come into effect this year. Public Safety Canada says pre-clearance is meant to make it easier for officials to intercept threats before people or goods cross the border. It allows travelers to the U.S. to enter the country or catch a connecting flight more quickly because they've already been cleared.
A very special guest was in the locker room to read out the starting lineup for the Ottawa Charge, take over the game. 4-time Grammy Award-winning singer and Canadian icon, Anne Murray.
So Anne's got a great starting lineup going here, and just prior to that, I just want to make sure, Anne, you know how much this actually does mean.
Anne Murray is from Nova Scotia, about 2 hours north of Halifax, where Sunday's game took place.
Charge coach Carla McLeod also wore a custom Anne Murray t-shirt, as you see there, and kept it on behind the bench for the entire game.
Love that.
I love these little things that just have such a positive boost pre-game, right? Like,
so good.
You went to the game in a healthy mindset and having some fun, and that's so great that she was there.
Anne Murray looks great.
Right? That's
Yeah,
what
she
I was
does.
thinking too.
Come on now, that's wonderful. Okay, so how's the weather looking, Melissa?
Not too bad for today. It's going to be nice and mild, so the mild conditions we saw over the weekend will continue. Cloudy start things off, but then we will see some snow later on this morning. So snow late this morning into your afternoon. It will be a mild start to your work week, and then it will be cold to end things off. So if you like the milder temps, enjoy the next few days. We are sitting at -9, so it is quite cold out there to start things off this morning, but it will warm up into the afternoon. Does feel closer to -14. You could see out in the valley feeling like -10 this hour, -6 in Kingston, -7 in Brockville, -5 out in Trenton to start off your day. So it is cold this hour. However, it will warm up today to a high of 0. Cloudy skies to start things off. Then around 10 a.m., that's when we're expecting some light snow in the forecast. So periods of light snow throughout the day ahead. We could see around 2 centimeters in total. So some accumulation in the forecast for us today. It will continue to snow till about 5 p.m. That's when the bulk of the snow will happen. And then just some light flurries into your evening overnight. Into your day tomorrow, we still have more snow possible Tuesday and through Wednesday. So it's kind of a snowy start to your work week. Great news for the ski hills to get all that fresh powder. And then towards the end of the work week, it'll be great news for the canal as temperatures very, very chilly to end things off. Daytime highs today of 0 degrees, so that is above the norm. We should be sitting at around -6 degrees for this time of the year. 0 throughout most of the region, -1 for Bancroft. 1 is the high in Kingston as well as in Trenton today, -3 over in Mont-Tremblant. So over the next 7 days, you'll see those temps fluctuate, but then overnight Wednesday, that's when it's going to start to get really cold. 0 for today, 2 centimeters of snow, -2 is the overnight low. 2 for tomorrow, again, more snow on the way. We could see it mixed in with some rain as we head into Wednesday, and temperatures hover around 1 degree. Then cold. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're expecting colder conditions. Great news for the Rideau Canal. -11, the daytime high as we head into Thursday, and it will stay chilly right through the end of the work week into the weekend.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
No issues on your drive-ins. Still looks pretty good out there on the roads this morning. We have no collisions to report, and volume is looking fairly decent this hour.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, we are learning more about increases in some crimes in Canada, including retail theft. More on that still to come. Here's a live look through our Skycam. 6:37. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. Here are the big stories that we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. The death toll from protests in Iran has surpassed 500 as U.S. President Donald Trump says Iran wants to talk. 3 people were injured in a head-on collision on Prince of Wales Drive. 1 man is in critical condition. And Canada's AI minister says the country is not considering a ban on the social media platform X over a deepfake controversy. Melissa, we had a mild weekend, but some snowfall's on the way.
Mild and snowy and through your Monday forecast, a high of 0 later on this afternoon, so temps will stay nice and warm. We are expecting snow starting late this morning, continuing into the afternoon, about 2 centimeters in total. As we head into Tuesday, 2 degrees is the daytime high, more snow on the way, and the snow will continue in through Wednesday with a high of 1. On your roads this hour, no major issues to report. Traffic is looking pretty good this morning, starting to see a bit of volume building. If you're heading eastbound on the 417 Richmond and through Pinecrest, and at Nicholas, it is slow again.
A new Angus Reid poll has just been released early this morning with the latest numbers on crime and the perceptions we have on crime in Canada. CTV News correspondent Scott Hurst joins us this morning to share some of the findings. Good morning to you, Scott. Now, how safe do Canadians feel according to the new Angus Reid poll on crime?
Good morning, Rosie. Of course, crime and safety is something all of us think about, whether it's even in our homes, just outside our door, in our communities, or in our city at large. We all want to feel safe or make sure our families are safe, and Canadians are expressing growing concern about rising crime, with a majority say that crime in their community has risen over the past 5 years. That's according to new data from the Angus Reid Institute. New numbers providing a fresh snapshot of the perceptions and individual experiences of all of us of how safe we're feeling in our own communities. Angus Reid conducted this survey over a few days in November, so late last year, touching base with just over 2,000 Canadians, and 3 in 5 believe crime has been rising over the past 5 years, with the number of Canadians pointing to crime and public safety as a top issue increasing. Before COVID, Rosie, it was in the single digits, under 10%. Now, just under 20% saying it is a serious concern, one of the top concerns that they are worried about for themselves and their families. As the report points out, the proportion of Canadians feeling comfortable walking in their own communities at night after dark has fallen significantly. So that is a huge concern, that we don't feel very safe in our communities. And this is all coming as, of course, there is a political aspect to this. The Liberal government has been proposing sweeping changes to the criminal code, proposing a crackdown on crime. And with this snapshot from the Angus Reid Institute, Rosie, it appears that the Liberals will have a lot of work to do convincing Canadians that changes are in fact going to be happening.
So, Scott, how many Canadians who took part in this survey say they've been victims of crime?
According to the survey, 13% say they've been the victim of crime over the past 2 years, which has led them to contact police. But according to the survey, some of the most common crimes facing Canadians do not involve even seeing another person's face, and in many cases, ultimately not reported. Often less reported, yet still costly and unsettling crimes of identity theft and fraud. And this has reportedly cost Canadians hundreds of millions of dollars in 2024, with more than 4 in 5 Canadians, according to the survey, saying they've been the target at least of an online phone or online or phone scam over the past 2 years. And so, you know, that is something that has proven to be much more rampant, and really something, Rosie, it might not be a physical crime where many people are contacting police, but this is a crime in terms of online fraud or through the telephone scams that many of us often get. These are crimes that really seem to be impacting pretty much all of us. And so that is something that is quite concerning as well.
Interesting survey giving a snapshot on how Canadians feel about crime. Thank you very much for this, Scott.
Thanks, Rosie.
Today in Your Morning Ottawa, we ask for your comments on, as you start to gather in value as the age goes on, what do you care less about? Here's what you had to say.
Pamela says, I care less what everyone thinks of me. What they think isn't my problem. If I'm happy and my family is happy, that is what matters.
Yes, Pamela.
You're here, Pamela.
Do we need another comment? I think that says it all.
So good. Angel says, now that I am retired, I really care less about the weather and time. If the weather looks bad out there, I bunker down. And as for time, I have all the free time to decide what to do in my life.
Oh, wow. Nice.
I
like that
Probably
too.
before when you're commuting and you're working and you see the weather, you're nervous or you don't like it. And now that you get to stay home, you're like, okay.
Doesn't really bother you anymore.
Yeah.
Mary says purchasing trending items. As soon as they rise to the top, they begin their descent, saving myself the time and money. So those flashy
So
items,
true.
it is so true, right?
The frivolous spending that you see it go viral online. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I need to have that. You
Right.
try it, you're like, this doesn't work. Or
Yeah.
you love it for a couple minutes. And
There
then
you go.
It's old news.
Even though your phone is working, maybe the latest phone drop is like, oh, I
Right.
gotta have it. And it's
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah.
It works. You don't really need it. Chloe says, I just stopped caring about the bullies as I grew up. I was bullied, but I just stopped caring about the people who would bully me. And that made me have a better time when I went to school. So you took care of yourself and not worried about them, didn't give them all that energy. Chloe, that is awesome. Continued success to you, Chloe, and I hope that you have a great school year if you are in school this year.
And it's not an easy thing to do, to observe that, understand it, and then take action. You know what? I'm not going to let this bug me because it's out of my control what these other people are going to do. Chloe, I love that. So we'll be hearing from you a little bit later on in the show. We are asking, as you get older, what do you care less about? Send us those comments, Your Morning Ottawa at ctv.ca.
And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, taking a look at some of the big moments at this year's Golden Globe ceremony, which took place last night. That's just ahead. Here's a live look from our Skycam on George Street this morning. Cold start to morning, feels like minus 14, but mild into the afternoon with a high of 0.
The most important part of any journey is to arrive safely. Hi, I'm Patricia Bowl.
And I'm Stefan Keys from CTV. Distracted or impaired driving can have devastating consequences.
Hey, it's Ashley.
And Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94.
Always plan for a designated driver, and please keep your phone down.
Everyone can help keep communities safe.
Drive safe. Brought to you by the Ottawa Safety Council. For more information on road safety programs and services, visit ottawasafetycouncil.ca.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
It's time now for your morning fix, and of course, it's all about the Golden Globes because the focus of the Golden Globes is, of course, on movies and TV shows. But this year, they honored podcasts for the first time. The inaugural Best Podcast Award went to The Good Hang with Amy Poehler.
I don't know about award shows, but when they get it right, it makes sense. Thank you so much for this.
The podcast debuted in March 2026. Poehler's interview shows beat out heavy hitters like Bill Maher and Joe Rogan.
You know what was so funny about her speech? Like when she got up there, right away she said she thought of starting that podcast because she saw a bunch of dudes doing like mediocre, average work on podcasts. She goes, I can do the same mediocre work, and there you go. And now she's a Golden Globe winner.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And the first ever Golden Globe for a podcast ever, right? So she's making history.
Love that. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go and listen into her podcast. Now I'm intrigued. Now I want to know what it's all about, right? And host Nikki Glazer wrapped up the evening by paying tribute to the late Rob Reiner.
Well, that's our show. This one went to 11. Thank you guys for an amazing night, and I hope we found the line between clever and stupid. I can't believe the amount of star power we have in me.
That's, of course, a reference to Reiner's classic comedy, This is Spinal Tap, and the hat she was wearing is similar to the one worn by Reiner's character in the movie. This was Glazer's second year in a row of hosting the Golden Globes.
Can I just say, she did a bang-up job.
Yeah.
And this is her in the opening bit That dress was stunning. She poked fun at everybody, and it was just on point. But every time she would make a joke, she'd look at the star and go, I love you.
Yes.
Sorry, I love you. Almost like to say, please don't be mad at me. I love you. I'm your biggest fan. But she delivered it was just the right tone. It was hitting. It was funny. And she's a stunner.
Well, she's got so much talent behind the scenes on the roasts, right? That's where she comes from with her comedy. It's always on the roast shows. So she knows the balance of being able to poke fun, but then coming back full circle, like, because she'll hammer some people. She'll come at them hard, but she does it with such great timing. She's amazing.
And also, I think when you're in the audience and you know she's the host, you're kind of waiting for it, and maybe you're kind of like almost hoping she picks on you, right? Like, what is she going to say funny about me? Like, what is my thing that she's going to poke fun at, right? And I feel like they're all good sports in that audience.
You can't be like sensitive in those situations because you know she's not coming at you for personal reasons.
No. And you know what? The Golden Globes is a boozy night. Sitting at the table, they're all having drinks. It's like, go at it.
A good time.
Nikki, get me over here.
And some of last year's biggest TV shows took home big prizes.
Adolescence.
Adolescence on a run.
Adolescence wrapped up its run of awards wins, taking home the Best Limited or Anthology Series prize. Medical drama The Pit and Seth Rogen's The Studio were big winners as well in drama and comedy series, respectively. And for more on this year, on the big winners in film categories, Ottawa Life magazine film critic Keith Whittier will be here just after 7 o'clock to break it all down for us. And also some surprises of the night. I also love it for the fashions, I'm not gonna lie.
Of course.
I love to see what they're wearing, right?
Yeah.
We just saw Haley Steinfeld presenting an award, and she is just a phenomenal actress, and she's pregnant, and so you saw her donning her baby bump for the first time, and I just thought she looked gorgeous. Kylie Jenner looked amazing too. I love the fashions.
A full night out with all of the best. You know, I feel like as much as you want to win the award, I'm like, they want to win like best. They want to be talked about the next day about the fashion was like.
Absolutely. And you want to be on the best list, not the worst list.
But as long as you're talked about, then there you go. Right? You know?
There you go. That's
I'm really looking forward to, like Melissa said, coming up just a little bit later, we're going to do a full review of the Golden Globes with Keith Whittier. So we'll talk about the big winners, the surprises too. I love surprises. And right off the top of the show, the very first award, I was like, oh, it was a big surprise win.
Ooh,
we'll talk about that.
Little tease there.
Yeah, there you go.
We got something exciting for you. CTV Your Morning Ottawa and TSN 1200 want to give you the ultimate Ottawa Black Bears team experience. Your youth team squad could be there for the Winter Games night on Saturday, February 7th. One lucky youth team will score tickets for their entire squad. Get ready to cheer loud. Your Ottawa Black Bears verse pack will play to win. Submit your team on our contest page at ctvottawa.ca. I've been to every game so far.
Oh, wow.
And they are extremely exciting. I'm biased because I formerly am a lacrosse player, but I tell you, you won't regret going to the game, so enter for your chance to win.
Nice. Coming up in the next hour, we will explore realistic, actionable financial resolutions designed not just for the start of the year, but for lasting success. We'll bring you the latest on the 2026 Golden Globes, which took place last night in Hollywood. And it is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and today we are helping break down the stigma. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. It is 6:56. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. It's Monday, January 12th. Protests held in Ottawa and across the nation as the U.S. threatens military intervention in Iran.
3 people extricated from vehicles after a head-on crash on Prince of Wales Drive this weekend.
And the winner is one battle after another.
And the Golden Globes take over Hollywood. We break down all the big winners and surprises. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning. Come on in. 7 o'clock on the nose. I'm Rosie Edda.
Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Willie Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And I know that out of the 3 of us, I am for sure knowledgeable that Rosie stayed up a little bit watching the Globes last night. She has some details.
I did.
Melissa, did you stay up at all?
I did not. I
did
watched
not.
football yesterday afternoon. I know.
Nice.
I did the opposite watching yesterday.
Yeah, you and me both. So I know you've got some of the details, but I can't wait for that
Yes.
talk too, because we're going to get all of the kind of behind-the-scenes things that maybe we didn't see last night.
And some surprises too, which I love surprises.
Oh, well, we'll take that. First, we'll get to our news headlines before we get to our entertainment chat. U.S. President Donald Trump says that Iran has pitched negotiations after he threatened action in response to a nationwide crackdown on demonstrators where the death toll has surpassed 500.
Iran wants to negotiate, yes. We may meet with them. I mean, a meeting is being set up. But we may have to act because of what's happening before the meeting. But a meeting is being set up. Iran called, they want to negotiate.
Protesters are flooding the streets and fires are burning across the country. This has been more than 2 weeks against the country's regime as the government's communications blackout continues. A U.S. human rights agency says over 10,000 people have been detained so far. And demonstrations were also held on Parliament Hill and in other Canadian cities. Iranians here in our region say that they are nervous about their families back in home in the Middle Eastern country, holding on to hope that the regime will be toppled.
This government is an Islamic regime who doesn't care about the basic human rights of the people. We are here just to be the voice of people who are taken hostage inside the country, and they are demanding their own basic human rights.
Protesters are calling on the Canadian government to stand with the Iranian people to defeat the Islamic Republic and support the people's transition to democracy.
3 people were injured in a head-on collision on Prince of Wales Drive. Firefighters had to extricate both drivers from the wreckage. Paramedics say all 3 people involved were taken to the trauma center. 1 man is in critical condition, while another man and a woman were transported in stable condition. This happened on Prince of Wales, south of Hunt Club Road yesterday morning, and crews remained on scene for much of the day. Prime Minister Mark Carney is set to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping tomorrow in an effort to break the ice and boost trade after nearly a decade of frosty relations.
We have to talk to each other if we want to make progress and address issues. We have now unlocked a path forward to address current issues and to build the enormous opportunities between our 2 countries.
Trade talks will be high on the agenda as Mark Carney makes the first official trip to China by a Canadian prime minister in nearly a decade. China has slapped a 100% tariff on Canadian canola, a retaliatory move to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles.
Artificial Intelligence Minister Evan Solomon says Canada is not considering a ban on social media platform X. The social media giant owned by Elon Musk has drawn global criticism over sexualized deepfakes created by X's AI chatbot Grok. Asked if the government is considered taking any other actions, a spokesperson for Solomon said more information will be available soon. 2 projects allowing more travelers to be screened well in advance of crossing the Canada-U.S. border are set to come into effect this year. Public Safety Canada says pre-clearance is meant to make it easier for officials to intercept threats before people or goods cross the border. It allows travelers to the U.S. to enter the country or catch a connecting flight more quickly because they've already been cleared. The Charge played in another PWHL takeover game, this time in Halifax against the Boston Fleet, and it was a nail-biter.
Great turnover has Jenner. They've got numbers. Jenner shoots and scores!
You got there Charge captain Breanne Jenner with her 7th goal of the year. That would tie it up at 1 in the 3rd, but eventually the game would go to a shootout. Katerina Murazova with a beautiful move in the shootout, and that would be the winning goal. Ottawa now on a 6-game win streak. They play again tomorrow in Montreal.
The Ontario Lottery and Gaming Corporation is still waiting for the winners of this Friday's $55 million Lotto Max jackpot to come forward after the winning ticket was sold, get this, in the Russell Prescott area.
We couldn't be more excited, and we're just really anxious for the ticket holder or holders to come forward because we don't know if it's really one person that bought that ticket or if it's a group.
The winner or winners of the Lotto Max jackpot have 12 months to come forward. OLG says they are unable to say exactly where in the Prescott-Russell area the ticket was sold.
The corporation will have to wait until the prize is claimed before revealing that information. So, if you're watching our show, go check your tickets just to make sure.
Absolutely. So exciting. So close to home.
55 million, that is life-changing.
Absolutely. We also have your weather picture of the day today, and this was sent to us from Steve. It's Good Morning Luskville. It's a view from Woodland.
Weather picture brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
And of course, we love seeing your weather pictures. All you have to do is send an email to us, weathershots@ctv.ca. So attach those pictures in an email, weathershots@ctv.ca. And today it will be mild into the afternoon, still a little chilly to start your day off. A high of 0. Average for this time of the year is around -6 degrees. The sun should be up shortly around 7:39 and set today at 4:42 p.m. So we're definitely getting to see those longer days, which is great to see the sun out a little bit longer. Still sitting at -9 here this hour. Does feel closer to -13, -14. So yes, a little bit of a chillier start to your morning, but don't worry, it will warm up into the afternoon. -6 in Kingston for today, -7 in Brockville, -9 as well out along Montreal. Cloudy skies to start things off. We are expecting snow. It looks like the snow will start around 10 o'clock this morning and continue right through into your evening hours. So we're expecting snow from 10 till about 5. That's when we will see snow at its heaviest, about 2 centimeters in total, tapering off into the evening, and then we will see some light flurries into the overnight. And in through the next couple of days, more snow on the way. So we will see a break from it tomorrow morning, but then into the afternoon Tuesday, as well as into through Wednesday, we are expecting some snow. Wednesday, we could see it mixed in with some freezing rain or some rain as temperatures will stay warm this week and be above that freezing mark throughout most of the work week this week. Today's daytime high 0 degrees, so we will sit at that freezing mark, cloudy skies, again with some snow into the day ahead, about 2 centimeters in total. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast, and you'll see Thursday is when this warm snap will come to an end. -2 is the overnight low, not too cold, 2 centimeters of snow. 2 is the high for tomorrow, so we're expecting snow Tuesday and through Wednesday. Wednesday staying mild, that's where we could see it mixed in with some rain, but then Thursday, quite cold outside. Great news for the Rideau Canal Skateway. A daytime high of -11, -9 for Friday, and -8 for Saturday with lots of sun.
7-day weather forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
Still no major issues on the roads. Just starting to see your volume building right now, just past the split through downtown at Saint Laurent. If you're heading westbound, it's a little bit heavier. Eastbound lanes, it's still heavy from Richmond, Pinecrest, and through this downtown core this hour.
And a warning, our next interview touches on sexual harassment and child sexual abuse, which may be disturbing for some of our viewers. The future of Elon Musk's Grok AI tool is up in the air amid a controversy over audience use of the platform. Grok AI has been used to perform what some are calling digital undressing, where a user asks the AI to remove a photo subject's clothing, including photos of children. Now, some countries, including the UK, are threatening to ban X, formerly known as Twitter, altogether in order to put a stop to the behavior. But Canada's AI minister says no such ban is being considered in this country. Let's bring technology expert Carmi Levy in with some discussions. Good morning to you, Carmi.
Good to be with you, Will.
So X released a statement late last week saying that it would start preventing people from doing this. What's your reaction? Do you think it's too little too late, or can we actually see progress where this might not be a problem in the future?
Nowhere near enough to respond to this. They said they'll remove the content that has been posted, and they're also going to limit the generation of images to only those customers who've paid for the premium account. In other words, they're still going to allow these questionable images to be generated, but you're going to have to pay for the privilege. The root cause is not addressed here. And so, yet again, this is a company that, you know, every time they get caught with their hands in the cookie jar, so to speak, that they're allowing their technologies to be abused in this way, they respond inadequately, and that's why we're seeing this growing parade of countries either banning them outright. So far, Indonesia and Malaysia have gone forward and actually banned them in country, and others like the UK, France, India, and even the European Union threatening them with that ban, saying they're launching investigations and they'll let them know more soon. So as is all often the case, Grok, which is integrated with X, both owned by Elon Musk, clearly not taking this as seriously as they should.
And Carmi, are you surprised at all, even when you see that, you know, when you look at what's happened so far, then they say, we're not going to change. Only those that pay more with subscriptions, we're going to start to alter. Are you even surprised that they're in such deep water, but they're still kind of holding to that platform?
This is Elon Musk being Elon Musk. We've seen this kind of behavior from him before. He doesn't really care about what is moral or right or just. All he really cares about is his bottom line. And he has positioned X with Grok integrated into it. Grok, of course, created by XAI, another company that Elon Musk founded. He's positioned them as what he calls, the option for the free speech absolutists, that they're anti-woke, that the normal guardrails that are built into competing platforms that use AI for this purpose to generate images, that those guardrails are not in place on his, that they won't stop you from sharing what you wish, even if it is objectionable, even if it is highly illegal and kind of against the norms of society. So this is just, we've come to expect this from this individual as well as from this company, and I think it's buyer beware. If you choose to use X, you have to know that Grok is integrated into it. You have to know that the architecture is by definition incredibly open in this way that allows this abuse to take place.
Carmi, a couple of months ago we had a story about ChatGPT and a really tragic situation where there was suicide involved, and there were allegations that that tool was actually potentially helping with some options, but ChatGPT started to take precautions at this point. What makes Grok different than the other AIs when you see something like this happen?
I mean, it's the fundamental architecture is that there are no restrictions until issues like this begin to happen, until floods of reports of content appearing on the platform begin to generate complaints, and until countries begin to weigh in saying we are going to restrict you if you don't change your ways. And so what's different about Grok is the way it is built. The architecture is by definition looser. The reins are not as tight as they are on competing image generators and AI platforms. And also just the general attitude of ownership is that this is an owner who literally does not care. He's the richest man in the world, about to become even richer, and he doesn't play by the same rules that you and I would normally play by. The basic concept of technological morality does not seem to apply to Elon Musk.
Yeah, AI just continues to just outgrow potentially even what we can see in the future, but hopefully as we continue down, we can have more guidelines in place to avoid situations like this. But Carmi, always appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, Will.
Well, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, looking at all the winners and surprises from last night's Golden Globes. Plus, we'll explore realistic, actionable financial resolutions designed not just for the start of the year, but for lasting success, helping you stay on track for those financial goals. That's the topic in our Money Monday segment. Our guest is standing by in the cozy Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. But we'll take a peek outside through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam 4 now. Snowfall on the way, still mild this afternoon, but could get a little messy. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
When it comes to your finances, we all know the drill. The calendar flips, optimism soars, and we vow to get our money in order. Yet, for many, those ambitious financial goals don't last. So joining us to help us out this morning, more long-term, is Dwayne Francis, Portfolio Manager for Capital Wealth Partners, Mandeville Private Client Incorporated. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa. Good to see you.
So great to have you here. This is always one of my goals, is to get more financially responsible. And I think it's a lot of us who need, a little refresher at the beginning of the year. And it's a great time to start thinking about financial goals in January.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. You know what? Fresh start, new year. Let's think about those goals and put them in action.
Okay, I love that. You have some great tips for us today. So we are going to flip the calendar and tackle inflation and rising cost of living proactively. So what do you mean by that?
Yeah, so we're in times that can be a little challenging.
Yes.
So usually as inflation cools, prices don't usually fall back.
Okay.
Usually. So what we try to do, review your spending, or I call them spending plan or budget, review it quarterly as opposed to annually. Some people set their budget annually, but as things change, let's review it quarterly so we can see if those changes are a bit more proactive, right?
All right. So think quarterly, not annually.
Not annually, exactly. Yeah.
All right. Up next, you say strengthen cash flow and emergency readiness.
Exactly. So Volatile times, some uncertainty, we need to be financially resilient.
Yes.
Right? So let's aim for 3 to 6 months of emergency cash flow or accessible savings. As well, let's look to automate your savings. That's similarly the way that you automate your bill payments, right? As opposed to ad hoc, let's do it automatically, right? And then review if you have any debt, high interest rate cards or line of credit, review those and prioritize those, because pay those down, because those can be extremely costly.
Absolutely. And when you say just have your emergency fund, what sorts of things are we thinking about with emergency fund? Is it like your mortgage, your car payments, those sorts of things?
So more so just having money set aside for emergencies, right? As opposed to going on into debt or into a line of credit. Put 3 to 6 months of savings if you can. I know it sounds like a lot, but put it away so that you have it there for those emergencies or opportunities.
So if your furnace breaks in the middle of winter, you have some funds to pay for it.
You don't have to put on a credit card or a line of credit.
Perfect. I love that. Optimize RRSP, TFSAs, and FHSAs.
Many Canadians, unfortunately, don't take advantage of these incredible tax-efficient accounts. So tax-free savings accounts, you can save and take money out when needed, but also give you some flexibility, and it's tax-free compounding. RRSPs we all know about, registered direct savings plans for long-term retirement savings. The FSA, First Home Savings Account, is really for younger Canadians who are looking to get into the market, and as we know, home ownership right now is going to be a long-term challenge going forward. So making sure that you can put your money into the First Home Savings Account. And for retirees, people who are getting an income, make sure that your income is tax efficient and do some planning around that, do some strategies around that as well.
And if you don't know which one works for you, you can ask those questions to a financial advisor and be like, help me out, which one works best for me?
What works best for you, and strategize around that, because they're not all one size fits all.
Right, and even sometimes RSP, that's the one that you could take it out when you buy your first home.
You can. There's a home buyer's plan. Look at you. You know that one.
My dad taught me well when I was very young.
Fantastic.
Align investments with long-term goals, not headlines.
So markets will continue to move regardless, whether it's elections or interest rates or just global uncertainty. So align your goals based on time horizon, your diversification, and rebalance your portfolio. Be disciplined, and try not to chase the hot stocks or what's going on, but be focused on consistency and discipline in your investment planning.
Okay, that's some great advice. And last but not least, you say build or update a comprehensive wealth plan.
Unfortunately, too many Canadians don't have a financial roadmap. I think it's so important to have a plan in place. We call it a wealth plan or a financial plan that outlines tax planning, estate planning, financial planning, investment planning obviously is a piece of that, and then estate planning. Some people need to review their wills at least every 3 to 5 years, powers of attorney, guardians if you have young children, and insurance costs. So these things are important, as well as tax planning. Tax planning, a dollar saved is a dollar earned. Taxes are huge, as we know, in Canada. Let's try to make sure that the overall plan encompasses all these different pieces, because it's so important.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And how can people get a hold of you for more information?
DwayneFrancis.ca or capitalwealthpartners.ca.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Dwayne, for joining us today. Rosie.
Thank you.
It was one award after the other for this movie at the Golden Globes last night.
And the winner is One Battle After Another.
One Battle After Another took home Best Film, Musical, or Comedy, Best Director, and Best Screenplay for Paul Thomas Anderson, and Best Supporting Actress for Tiana Taylor. That was a pretty big surprise. Hamnet also scored Best Drama Film, as well as Best Actress for Jessie Buckley. On the TV side, Adolescence, The Studio, and The Pit were the big winners of the evening. Why don't we bring in Ottawa Life magazine film critic Keith Whittier to talk about the night that was the Golden Globes. Good morning to you, Keith.
Good morning to you.
It's so great to have you on to talk all things Golden Globes here. Let's talk about what you thought of last night's show on a whole.
So last night, I mean, the Golden Globes is always a great kickoff to award season and gets everybody excited and starts to lay the groundwork of where the awards shows are going to go as we lead up to the Oscars. So from that perspective, I think the show did a pretty good job. There weren't a ton of big surprises from an awards perspective. And I think Nikki Glaser did an incredible job as host.
Okay, One Battle After Another. The film starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor. Won big last night. Was that a big surprise for you?
Not really. I mean, on most people's best of list for 2025, it was usually in the top 3 position. This is an incredible movie where you've got Hollywood veterans like Sean Penn, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Benicio del Toro, but also some fresh faces like Tiana Taylor and Chase Infinity, and they came together under the brilliant mind of Paul Thomas Anderson for what was an absolutely incredible film.
Okay, Nikki Glaser hosting the Golden Globes again this year. How'd she do?
I think she did great. I think that a lot of people, when they first heard about her hosting last year, they were a little worried because she's so used to roasting people.
Right.
But she was very respectful in the room. She made some good jokes, and I think that her comedic timing was incredible. She had some good jabs with Leonardo DiCaprio and Michael B. Jordan.
Really good, really.
She did a fantastic job. And I had a few people message me saying, are they going to do a tribute to Rob Reiner? And then at the end, she came out with a Spinal Tap hat, which was a very nice silent tribute to the great filmmaker.
Okay, you said that there were no really huge surprises last night, but if you could pick one surprise that made you go, raise an eyebrow, did you have one?
Well, there were two interesting ones. One was the fact that Tiana Taylor won for Best Supporting Actress for, for One Battle After Another.
Right.
Not a huge surprise in the sense that it's not like nobody's waking up thinking, hey, what happened here? But a lot of people felt that it could have gone to Amy Madigan for her incredible performance in Weapons. The other big surprise for myself was Secret Agent winning Best International Film.
Okay.
I'm in a group chat with a bunch of other reviewers, and if they were here, they want me to tell you, as much as that sounds nerdy, we're all very cool. But that being said, Rosie, we're thinking to ourselves, like, what movie did they see? Just in the sense of last year was such an incredible year for international film, and that's the one award I don't necessarily think they got right. Okay. But this is not only an opportunity to celebrate film, but to promote film, and I think that some of the other international films could have used that promotion because I think they were a little better.
A couple actors blowing up the small screen. They were in attendance at the Golden Globes last night. Let's take a look.
It's a little nerve-wracking here, being at our very first Golden Globes. Just take a deep breath and picture everyone in the audience. You know.
That's Hudson Williams and Connor Story from Heated Rivalry. How do you think they did last night?
Listen, it was great to see the promotion for Heated Rivalry. Yeah. I have so many people saying, Keith, have you seen the show? Have you seen the show? And it's definitely on my list to get to. But just in terms of in the short amount of time, the amount of popularity that this show has garnered has been absolutely incredible, and it's nice to see.
It really is. I mean, it's right here on Crave. It's an original Crave program, and they're getting ready for season 2. And it was that hit that just kind of came out of nowhere, and it keeps on giving, which is really nice. Okay, so the Golden Globes done. Next up, we're waiting to hear the announcement for the big one, the Oscars.
Yes, we get the Oscar nominations, which I believe are next Thursday. We've got a pretty good indication of where things are going. A lot of people might think that One Battle After Another is the lock, and it very well might be. But let's keep in mind, last year, the two winners, which were Emilia Perez and The Brutalist, that won for Best Picture, did not go on to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards. So a lot of times the Golden Globes are a great indication of where things are going to go, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee that those films are going to win. Okay. So I'm very excited to see the nominations next week.
Oh boy, we will talk nominations, we'll talk Oscars coming up in the future. Ottawa Magazine film critic Keith Whittier, it's always such a pleasure. It's so much fun talking Golden Globes with you.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. We're back after this short break. Here's a live look at our George Street sky cam, and you can see a little bit of snow on the ground, and Melissa says we got a little bit more snow on the way. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. Thanks so much for starting your day with us. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And we're going to get right into our news headlines. And we begin in Iran, where activists say the death toll has surpassed 500 as we enter the third week of relentless nationwide protests. This is all against the country's regime. Iranians living in Canada taking to Parliament Hill Sunday in solidarity with the ongoing protests in Iran, calling for a regime change.
We, together with the Iranian people inside Iran, we want politicians to recognize Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi as the leader and provide support by giving maximum pressure on the regime and maximum support to the people of Iran to help them to get rid of this regime.
U.S. President Donald Trump says a meeting is being set up with Iran after he threatened action in response to a nationwide crackdown on demonstrators.
Iranian leaders, you better not start shooting, because we'll start shooting too.
I'm of the view that actually an external military attack will actually embolden the regime and undermine the cause of the protesters.
More than 10,000 people have been detained in Iran, according to a U.S. human rights agency.
Tensions remain high in the U.S. after a weekend of cross-country protests against ICE. Minneapolis remains at the center of tensions as ICE agents continue immigration crackdowns. The Trump administration now plans to send hundreds more federal agents into the city. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says they are being sent in to ensure the safety of immigration officers. Protests in the U.S. have been happening since Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent. The Trump administration continues to insist the agent who killed her was acting in self-defense. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne is in Washington today to talk trade. Minister Champagne is set to meet with his G7 counterparts to discuss critical minerals and supply chains. The meeting is being hosted by the U.S. Treasury Secretary. Last month, Champagne had said it's time to move on the extraction and refining of critical minerals in Canada. He also says Canada can help Europe move away from its dependence on China for critical minerals.
Artificial Intelligence Minister Evan Solomon says Canada is not considering a ban on the social media platform X. The social media giant owned by Elon Musk has drawn global criticism over sexualized deepfakes created by X's artificial intelligence chatbot, Grok. Asked if the government is considering taking any other actions, a spokesperson for Solomon said more information will be available soon.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is set to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping tomorrow in an effort to break the ice and boost trade after nearly a decade of frosty relations.
We have to talk to each other if we want to make progress and address issues. We have now unlocked a path forward to address current issues and to build the enormous opportunities between our two countries.
Trade talks will be high on the agenda as Mark Carney makes the first official trip to China by a Canadian Prime Minister in nearly a decade. China has slapped a 100% tariff on Canadian canola, a retaliatory move to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles. 3 people were injured in a head-on collision on Prince of Wales Drive. Firefighters had to extricate both drivers from the wreckage. Paramedics say all 3 people involved were taken to the trauma center. 1 man is in critical condition while another man and a woman were transported in stable condition. This happened on Prince of Wales, south of Hunt Club Road yesterday morning, and crews remained on scene for much of the day.
2 projects allowing more travelers to be screened well in advance of crossing the Canada-U.S. border are set to come into effect this year. Public Safety Canada says pre-clearance is meant to make it easier for officials to intercept threats before people or goods cross the border. It allows travelers to the U.S. to enter the country or catch a connecting flight more quickly because they've already been cleared.
Opera star Andrea Bocelli is set to perform at the opening ceremony of the Milan Cortina Winter Olympics.
The Italian tenor was announced as one of the headliners for the 3-hour spectacle. Mariah Carey is also going to perform.
The ceremony will be centered at Milan's San Siro Stadium, but will also take place at other locations in Italy, with this edition of the Games considered the most spread out in Olympic history. The opening ceremony will be held on February 6th.
Hard to believe that we're already at that time now. We've been talking about it for so long,
Yes.
and now we are under a month out.
Just weeks. We're talking weeks now. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, it really is. All right, Melissa, what's going on with the forecast? Because I don't think it's quite Italian weather out there.
It's very mild for the beginning of the this week and a little snowy. So we love the fresh snow that we will get to see today and over the next few days. It is a cloudy start to your morning, about 2 centimeters of snow in total, and we will see those mild conditions for the start of the work week. But then by the end of the work week, it will be back to being bitter cold. Still sitting at -9. So yes, a little chilly to start things off. Feels closer to -13, -14 this hour, -10 out in the valley. Trenton slightly warmer, -1, -5 in Kingston. Out in Cornwall sitting at -7. So still seeing those clouds to start things off this morning, but we will start to see some snow. It looks like sometime around 10 o'clock or shortly after we are expecting some snow to start. It will continue throughout the day ahead. So most of the snow will happen between 10 this morning and about 5 p.m. Then it will taper off a little bit. We will see some scattered flurries overnight tonight and in through your day tomorrow. It will start off cloudy, but then late in the afternoon on Tuesday, we are expecting more snow on the way, which will continue in through Wednesday. And we could even see it mixed in with some rain. You can see we're kind of on the bubble between snow, freezing rain, which is that pink band, and then rain, which is the green band, because temperatures will be quite mild tomorrow and right through until Wednesday. So for kids heading to school today, great day for recess. We'll have some fresh snow, periods of light snow, highs of 0 into the afternoon, so it will be nice and mild to play with all of that fresh snow. Regional highs for today similar across the region. 0 for Ottawa, Pembroke, Cornwall, Kemptville, Brockville. Slightly warmer Kingston, Trenton sitting at 1. 0 for Petawawa, Gatineau. -1 is the high in Montreal. So today, right through till Wednesday, quite warm, and that's why we are expecting some snow mixed in with some freezing rain or rain for Tuesday and through Wednesday as temperatures are above that freezing mark. But then the cold weather will set in Thursday, a daytime high of -11, and it will stay cold in through the weekend.
Oh, a little mix of everything over the next few days. Now let's take our focus out on the roads. Heading east on the Queensway, seeing some buildup beginning at the 416 split until Woodruff. Westbound on the 417, seeing congestion between St. Laurent and Nicholas. Heading west on the 174, moving slowly starting at 10th line until Montreal Road. No accidents at this time to report.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
It is Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and here to tell us more about what they are doing and some signs and symptoms to look for, we have Monique Doolittle-Romas. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melissa.
Great to have you back. Let's first talk about Alzheimer's and what exactly it is.
So Alzheimer's is a form of dementia. So dementia has approximately 100 diseases below it, and it is neurocognitive, so it does impact the brain. So it can be frontotemporal, it could be vascular, it could be a form of Alzheimer's. At this time, there is no cure.
Okay.
But it is a chronic illness, and you can get support.
Okay, so why is it important to have a month like this where it's Alzheimer's Awareness Month? What does this do for the disease?
I think it's really important to increase awareness about dementia. Are there things that we can do to prevent having dementia? How do we take care of ourselves? And for those who are living with a form of dementia, it's an opportunity for us to have those discussions to say, I'm here, I support you, and you are not alone. You don't have to face dementia alone. It's 1 month where we can have those conversations.
And even though it seems like we are having more conversations about it, is there still stigma associated with dementia?
Unfortunately, there is some stigma. Perhaps it's self-stigma where I don't want my friends to know, or I don't want my friends to know my spouse perhaps has dementia.
Okay.
So you withdraw a little bit. I think there's also some out in the community. People don't know how to interact, so we're a little less patient with someone who may have dementia. Maybe it's taking a little bit longer at the cash register, so people get impatient.
Right.
Or they don't understand. Dementia does not have to be a normal part of aging, so there is some structural dementia. Workplaces need to learn how to work with somebody with dementia, and more, just as importantly, to be there for their caregivers. Often it is one person that is there for the individual that's living with dementia, so we need workplaces to be really friendly as well. And we need Ottawa and Renfrew County to be dementia friendly.
Okay, talk about some support groups and some services out there for those living with dementia, or maybe family members who someone in the family has dementia.
So the Dementia Society serves over 5,100 people per year, and those are strictly caregivers. And we offer the one-on-one coaching. So if you were to call tomorrow and say, somebody in my family has dementia and I'm not sure how to support them, I'm really challenged, I'm not sure how to respond to the behavior, you would work with a direct coach who could give you that tailored education. Melissa, if this is a behavior or someone's repeating themselves, this is how you could respond. You could then join a support group, which we often refer to as peer support groups. It is facilitated by a coach, but then you're with all other individuals who are traveling the same journey you are. We offer more than 34 support groups per month. They're during the day, they're in the evening, they're in person, they're virtual. Whatever meets your needs, the workshops are there for you as well.
And are there signs and symptoms that individuals can look out for? Because is there normal things that you're forgetting, or when does it become kind of abnormal?
It becomes abnormal if all of a sudden I start to lose my language skills, language that I used to know previously that I'm really struggling with. If suddenly I don't remember how to use the oven, and I've been cooking for 30 years and I don't know how to turn the oven on, or a little less self-care. Suddenly I don't feel like bathing as often as I used to. Confusion with time, with space, and if someone's repeating themselves, it's often a sign of dementia. I'm not referring to, did I tell you this story? Or I forgot if I told you. I'm speaking about somebody who repeats consistently and literally doesn't recall that they just told you this story. There's also misplacing items. It's not misplacing your car keys. It's like, did I put them in my pocket? Did I put them in my purse? It's putting the cell phone in the fridge. And not knowing where to find it, not even knowing you've misplaced it. Those are signs, and it would be important to connect with your family practitioner. Go in, book an appointment. They can work with you, and then if needed, refer you to a neurologist.
And is it okay for family members as well that perhaps you're the one who is noticing signs in your spouse or a family member? Are you able to kind of go and get support too to make sure it is that and not, because I think sometimes there's confusion as, well, maybe it is normal or maybe it's not.
I would encourage someone to reach out to us and speak to one of our coaches and say, I'm starting to notice these symptoms. What would you recommend? How do I support my mom? How do I support my dad? How do I support my spouse?
How do I approach this?
How do I approach this? It's not an easy conversation. So it's important that you have that support up front. Also, go to the appointment with your loved one. Be there to hear what they're saying, to interact, maybe to take notes. I know when you're receiving information, sometimes you're a little overwhelmed at the best of times, so make sure you're there to be with them, to travel the journey with them, but more, just as important as a caregiver, don't do it alone. You never have to face dementia alone in Ottawa and Renfrew County.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And where can people go for more information and for a list of all those support services?
All they have to do is go to dementiahelp.ca, which links them to all of our programs and services, or give us a call, 613-523-4004. Please reach out. We're there for everyone.
Thank you, Monique, for joining us today. We truly appreciate it. Lots more to come here on Your Morning Ottawa as we take a look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam this morning, waiting for that snow to fall. Also waiting for the sun to be up. It should be up fairly shortly, although it will be mainly cloudy today with snow starting around 10 a.m.
Welcome back to Your Morning Ottawa. Journalist Sunny Dillon has written a new memoir about the unique challenges that come with being a racialized person in Canada. The book is called Hide and Seek, Letters from a Life in Brown Skin. Author Sunny Dillon joins me now to tell us more. Good morning to you, Sunny. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming on the program. I want to take our viewers back a little bit. 2018. You resigned from the Globe and Mail and you wrote a piece, and part of the reason for your resignation, you cited racism, and you were on the receiving end of some of that racism. Can we get back to that time, 2018, and tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. So I was a daily news reporter for about 10 years, or 10 years exactly. And just as that wore on, I found it challenging to be a journalist of color. Often within our mainstream news industry, whenever we discuss problems within the country, we can be very quick to sort of point fingers at racialized people. And being a journalist of color within newsrooms, I found that to be increasingly challenging, the extent to which we were likely to pin blame on this group or that as opposed to this group, and just kind of sometimes maybe the shortcuts we would take to get there. And so increasingly I just found that to be just untenable for me as a journalist, and I chose at that moment to leave.
You wrote Hide and Seek, a deeply personal book. Did the actions of resigning and then the subsequent article, did it give you strength to write this? How difficult was it to write this book?
It was difficult. I think, as you say, the book is personal. I think I, am someone who, has perhaps at times struggled to put into words what it is like to be a person of color in this country. And, sitting down and trying to get those words on paper is always kind of a challenge. But I think ultimately, when you start to share these stories and you start to talk to other people about similar experiences, that can feel very empowering. And, when you start to realize that you're not alone, and racism can really make you feel alone a lot of the time. It's almost by its very nature very isolating, both in the instances in which the overt acts occur and just how they impact you. And so I think having gone through that process certainly played a role in writing the book.
The book opens with a story that you tell you and your daughter and another father and their child at a playground, and that father mocked the name of another child.
Right.
How did that impact you?
Yeah, so that was kind of the moment, or a moment I'd feared since my wife first told me that we were having a child. I had thought about, when is she first going to face this really overt act of racism, and it occurred at a playground here in Ottawa. And it was a challenge to get through, because in that moment I found myself sort of second guessing my actions and sort of thinking about how, what is the right way to respond to this. And the book to an extent is an extension of that incident. That is kind of where we start and where we end up with me discussing how that incident itself spirals out of control, and just how common these experiences are, and how, as racialized people, we need to be aware that they might occur and think about how we're going to respond.
Hide and Seek, Letters from a Life in Brown Skin. How would you like this book to be received with people who are not coming from life as a brown or a black person? How would you like them to receive this book?
Yeah, I think in writing the book, there are the kind of two sets of readers, right? There are the people who are going to see themselves reflected in these pages, and are, perhaps going to, feel less alone and understand those experiences a little more. And then there are people for who these will be the first time reading about this at all. And certainly my hope would be that in seeing these experiences and seeing what it can be like for so many racialized people in Canada to live here and grow up here, to just have a greater understanding of what that can be like, and just the challenges we face, and frankly, the triumphs that we can reach, and how we can grow.
Ultimately, how did writing this book serve you?
I think for me, like a lot of people, I learn by writing, in sitting down and going through situations and thinking about them more fully. And I think for me, the book helped me just understand these experiences that I, frankly, for the majority of my life, struggled to understand. And I think they helped me get to a place where I'm more at peace with some of these mistakes that I made, and maybe back on a path that I wish I'd been on all along.
That is really cathartic and wonderful practice of writing and revealing. We're so glad that you could come on this show, that you opened up your heart and wrote this book. Sunny Dillon, the book is Hide and Seek. You can get it wherever books are sold, correct?
Exactly.
Thank you very much for coming on the show, and continued success to you.
Sure.
Thank you so much, Sunny. Thank you. Here's a live look through our Skycam. It's starting to snow, as Melissa predicted. We'll be right back after this short break.
All right, we got some milestone celebrations for you this Monday, January 12th. We're kicking it off with a happy birthday to Brady, a teenager already. Have an awesome 13th birthday. Love Mom, Dad, Livy, Kona, and Baz. A fellow surfer, Brady. Happy birthday, my friend. Hang 10, baby. Happy 6th birthday, Ari. We hope your day is full of smiles and fun. Lots of love from Mom, Dad, and Zara. If you have a milestone, we want you to celebrate it with us. For kids turning 13 or just a little bit younger, or 100 or more, wedding anniversaries, 50 or more, send us an email, yourmorningottawa@CTV.ca. We'll get that announcement on air and share it with your family and friends. Stay with us, crew. We'll be right back.
It's Monday, January 12th. Protests held in Ottawa and across the nation as the U.S. threatens military intervention in Iran.
3 people extricated from vehicles after a head-on crash on Prince of Wales Drive this weekend.
Plus, celebrating a milestone anniversary with a brand new lottery. How you can win the Queensway Carleton Hospital's new 50-50 draw. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
I'm excited to hear about that 50-50 draw because the Ottawa Hospital, I don't think, has done something quite like that, but you see it in so many other areas, so it's cool to see what's going to happen from those funds.
Yeah, we'll have that interview coming up in just a little bit, but first off, we're talking about just a little bit of snow coming down already, right?
That's right. We're expecting snow in the forecast today. It's a snowy day, but at least temps will stay nice and mild. So great news for the ski hills, and then good news, end of the work week for the canal. So fingers crossed that we'll see it open.
That's right. Temperatures dropping, but we're going to put it on a positive note because that means the ice rinks will be in good condition. Right to our news headlines. We begin in Iran, where activists say the death toll has surpassed 500 as we enter the 3rd week of relentless nationwide protests. This is all against the country's regime. Iranians living in Canada taking to Parliament Hill Sunday in solidarity with the ongoing protests in Iran, calling for a regime change.
We, together with the Iranian people inside Iran, we want politicians to recognize Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi as the leader and provide support by giving maximum pressure on the regime and maximum support to the people of Iran to help them to get rid of this regime.
U.S. President Donald Trump says a meeting is being set with Iran after he threatened action in response to a nationwide crackdown on demonstrators.
Iranian leaders, you better not start shooting because we'll start shooting too.
I'm of the view that actually an external military attack will actually embolden the regime and undermine the cause of the protesters.
More than 10,000 people have been detained in Iran, according to a U.S. human rights agency.
Tensions remain high in the U.S. after a weekend of cross-country protests against ICE. Minneapolis remains at the center of tensions as ICE agents continue immigration crackdowns. The Trump administration now plans to send hundreds more federal agents into the city. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says they are being sent in to ensure the safety of immigration officers. Protests in the U.S. have been happening since Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent. The Trump administration continues to insist the agent who killed her was acting in self-defense. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne is in Washington today to talk trade. Minister Champagne is set to meet with his G7 counterparts to discuss critical minerals and supply chains. The meeting is being hosted by the U.S. Treasury Secretary. Last month, Champagne had said it's time to move on the extraction and refining of critical minerals in Canada. He also says Canada can help Europe move away from its dependence on China for critical minerals.
Artificial Intelligence Minister Evan Solomon says Canada is not considering a ban on the social media platform X. The social media giant owned by Elon Musk has drawn global criticism over sexualized deepfakes created by X's AI chatbot Grok. Asked if the government is taking any other actions, a spokesperson for Solomon said more information will be available soon. The leadership race for the Quebec Liberal Party kicks off today. It's happening after Pablo Rodriguez resigned last month after allegations of illegal financing and a clash with the parliamentary leader. So far, Charles Milliard, the former head of Quebec Federation of Chambers of Commerce, is the only one to throw his name in the ring. Milliard came in second behind Rodriguez in the previous race.
Prime Minister Carney is set to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping tomorrow.
We have to talk to each other if we want to make progress and address issues. We have now unlocked a path forward to address current issues and to build the enormous opportunities between our two countries.
Trade talks will be high on the agenda as Mark Carney makes the first official trip to China by a Canadian Prime Minister in nearly a decade. China has slapped a 100% tariff on Canadian canola, a retaliatory move to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles. 3 people were injured in a head-on collision on Prince of Wales Drive. Firefighters had to extricate all drivers from the wreckage. Paramedics say all 3 people involved were taken to the trauma center. 1 man is in critical condition, while another man and a woman were transported in stable condition. This happened on Prince of Wales, south of Hunt Club Road yesterday morning, and crews remained on scene for much of the day.
2 projects allowing more travelers to be screened well in advance of crossing the Canada-U.S. border are set to come into effect this year. Public Safety Canada says pre-clearance is meant to make it easier for officials to intercept threats before people or goods cross the border. It allows travelers to the U.S. to enter the country or catch a connecting flight more quickly. This is because they've already been cleared.
A copy of the comic book that introduced the world to Superman has been sold to an anonymous buyer for a whopping $15 million U.S.
Never surprises
Right?
me when you see these numbers. They're so wild. Action Comics #1 was originally released in 1939 and sold for, here we go, 10 cents.
It marks the beginning of the superhero genre and is among the most valuable comic books in the world. It's estimated that only 100 copies still exist.
Oh.
I wonder when you take a look at like this comic, like 10 cents, $15 million, compared to what you bought it for and what it's been sold for, like this has to be up there in the greatest of all time, at least one of them.
What an investment.
Yeah, we're talking about homes and, you know, TFSAs, RSPs. Get a hot comic book now because you never know in the future.
I always want to know, like, what are the things that I need to have now that will be worth that kind of money in the future? Because I want my hands on those things.
The
things
lifelong
that,
question.
You know, is this mug going to cost me 10 cents and then be worth 15 million? I will buy a lot of those. You know what I mean?
I know. It's just that you have to wait a little while for that one there.
Yes.
1939 to almost 100 years later. But hey, still, it's a big increase in value.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like I wish I kept all my Pokemon cards, like that original set. Millions.
Yes, exactly. Not too bad right now. Temperatures have warmed up a little bit. We're sitting at -8. Still feels closer to -13 this hour. So a cooler start, but don't worry. It will be quite warm into the afternoon. -2 currently in Kingston. Still dealing with some cloudy skies, seeing some light scattered flurries. You can kind of see that little gray popping up on your screen, your satellite radar screen. So we're going to see some scattered flurries this morning, but the real snow starting, it looks like around 10 a.m. So light flurries until then. 10 a.m. we're expecting that snow. Periods of light snow throughout the day ahead, about 2 centimeters in total. So we are expecting accumulation for today. Great news for our ski hills, of course. You're going to have some fresh powder. Temps will still stay nice and mild into the day ahead as well. As we head into tomorrow, it'll start off cloudy to start off the day, a little bit of sunshine, but then late in the day, we are expecting more snow on the way. And this system we could see mixed in with some rain and some freezing rain. So you can see we're kind of on the bubble between snow, which is the green rain, which is the white and purple, and then the pink is the freezing rain and green is rain. So we're kind of on the bubble where we really could see a mixture of all three in the combination Tuesday and through Wednesday. In your forecast for today, a high of 0 into the afternoon, so not a bad looking day in the forecast for us. -1 in Bancroft, 1 in Trenton, Kingston area. Out in the valley sitting at 0 as well for today. Kittigan-Zimbabwe sitting at -1 through your day ahead. So over the next 7 days, we'll see warm temperatures at first and then very cold towards the end of the work week. -2 is the low for tonight. 2 centimeters of snow in the forecast for us. 2 is the high for Tuesday, 1 on Wednesday. And that's why we really could see this mixture of snow, freezing rain, and rain. And that's because temperatures really hovering around that freezing mark or slightly above. -15 is the overnight low Wednesday. So that's when it's going to get cold and then stay cold Thursday right through into the weekend forecast. The good news is great for Rideau Canal Skateway. Of course, Rideau Canal Skateway loves the cold conditions, and at least it will be nice and sunny Friday and through Saturday. On your roads, heading east on the Queensway, seeing volume build right now beginning at Eagleston right through to Bronson. Westbound on the 417, also heavy between Saint Laurent and Nicholas this morning. Heading west on the 174, moving slowly starting at 10th line in through Montreal Road.
All right, coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, Ashley and Gord from Ottawa's Pure Country 94. They're weighing in on this hot topic this morning. So this is something we've been bringing you throughout the day. What do you just not care about anymore as you get older? We shared some of our opinions. They'll have some fun with us coming up later on. Outside through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, mild for another afternoon, but a mix of everything, as Melissa just stated. We are cruising up to 8:15. We will be right back.
Today's snow report brought to you by Centre Volage. Rediscover the new Volage.
And here are your ski conditions for today. Of course, we're getting some fresh snow as well. Volage, all of their lifts are open, and so are 11 runs. On the rest of the hills, 1 lift is open over at Camp Fortune. Edelweiss, you have 13 of the 22 runs open. Mo Cascade, 5 of their 6 lifts, and over at Calabogie Peaks, all of their lifts are open.
Hi, I'm Andre here at Centre Volage. I invite you to come enjoy our 24 trails, including alpine touring, snowshoeing, and fat biking. Centre Volage, Wakefield's playground.
Well, getting older comes with wisdom and a much shorter list of things that we're willing to care about. Ashley and Gord from the Morning Pickup on Pure Country 94 are talking about the things that we care less about as we get a little older.
Something in me over the holidays changed, Gord. I went for the comfortable, less attractive footwear.
That's something I never thought I would ever hear you say.
Over the heel that looked so good with the outfit, but I knew I would only last 30 minutes in it. And guess what? I did not care. And I knew my picture was going to be taken in it. It was Christmas Day. I was with my family. I said, I don't care. You hit an age sometimes when you're like, this is it. I'm comfortable and I don't need to impress anybody.
What do you think when you look back at that picture from a few weeks ago?
I do feel quite sad that I chose that footwear, but you know what? My feet thanked me for it.
There you go.
That's for sure. So we're asking you what's something that you slowly stopped caring about the older that you got. Jade, first off, do you mind me asking your age?
I'm 26.
Oh, you're young.
Oh, spring chicken.
You're young. Okay. But what is something that you have like slowly stopped caring about? Maybe something that was so important to you before, but just the older you get, and you're not old, by the way, but the older that you get, you stop caring.
I became a mom 3 years ago, and before that, I used to put makeup on to like go outside to feed the animals, and now I don't wear hardly any makeup at all anymore. Like either that's to go to work or to go grocery shopping. So I slowly started not caring about wearing makeup all the time.
Oh, that's nice. I'm not there. Yeah. I always say to my daughter, I'm like, no, I've got to put my makeup on. I don't want to scare the other children. It's just, you know.
Here's something that might help you, though. Jade, have you saved a lot of money now that you're not wearing makeup? Because I'm guessing that's expensive.
It's so expensive. Jade, are you saving?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm not buying new makeup every month.
So nice. All I need now is a 26-year-old face, Gord. That's all I need.
That's all I need. I'll
keep working on it. I'll let you know how that goes for me.
And that was our question of the day today. We were talking about that. I felt like that's something similar that you said. You're like, now that I've had kids and I'm so busy all the time, like I might hit the grocery store in my sweatsuit.
And I used to wear makeup like everywhere. Like I remember going to spin class where like I am sweating profusely and I would still manage to put like a little mascara and maybe some concealer under my eyes. Like not a lot of makeup, but just enough, maybe a little blush to go. And even though I'm gonna sweat it all off, for whatever reason in my head, I was like, I need to just put a little makeup just in case I see someone. Now I'm like, probably going to see someone at the grocery store because I'm dressed like this. Are these my pajama pants? Potentially. No makeup on, hair in a bun, you know, looking pretty scruffy, but I don't care.
Being cozy is super important. Is there something you can think about like right now that you're like teeter-tottering maybe towards, or something where you're like, you know what, this used to like really bug me or matter, but like in the future, like this is definitely something I'm not going to care about in the years to come, or something maybe wisdom of the kids?
Maybe like I'll start leaving the house before I brush my teeth. Like maybe I won't care about that one day either. Like just gonna let it all go.
Yeah. No, we can't
gonna
have
look
that.
bad and smell like just gonna be great.
It's so funny too, right? Because I feel like it's one of those things where it isn't until you start like living through life and gain some experience, because even as a kid, your parents tell you things like, yeah, whatever, or like, you don't know what you're talking about. And then you get older,
yeah, you're
okay.
like, oh, yeah.
You guys
and you
are
know
right.
what's funny? When you become a parent, I looked at my own parents in a full new light. I'm like, oh, I get you in a whole new way.
Yeah, a lot of apologies from my end as well. I'm so sorry, Mom and Dad.
Exactly.
Well, don't forget, you can listen to Ashley Gord on the Morning Pickup weekdays from 6 till 10 on Ottawa's Pure Country 94, the best country station out there.
And coming up, women's health expert Sarah Boyd shares essential hormone insights and tips for building lasting habits and energy and well-being. She is standing by right there in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. Here's a live look at our sky cam this morning, and we're seeing some snowflakes. So snow starting a little bit earlier than we anticipated. Flurries throughout the day ahead, and we could see 2 centimeters in the forecast today. Sarah Boyd is a personal trainer, nutritionist, and lifestyle coach, and the author of the #1 best-selling book, The Habit Revolution. She specializes in women's health and helps women build sustainable habits that support energy and well-being. And Sarah joins us this morning to talk what every woman should know about hormones. Yes, we're talking about it. Welcome to the show,
Yes, we
Sarah.
are. Thank you for having me.
And it's one of those topics that it just completely changes at the different stages of your life.
Yeah, it really does. So your hormones change as you go throughout the month, but they also change throughout your life. So there's a lot of different times where you're having to kind of relearn your body and what it's going through.
And just when you think you're safe, it's like a whole new set of hormones kick in, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No.
All right, so today you have some tips for us, and one thing you say is common symptoms, information, not failures. So what do you mean by that?
Yes. So what that means is that as we're going through our life, our hormones are going to change the way we feel. They're going to change our cravings, how we sleep, how we should exercise. And so this is all information that we get. And a lot of times we think, oh, I'm having cravings at night, I'm doing something wrong. Or this time of year, we've set some lofty New Year's resolutions, and by week 2 or 3, you're not able to stick to them because you're tired or you have other things going on, and we think that we're failing because of it. Where it's not. If you're feeling tired or you're having cravings, your body is giving you information, and it's about learning to listen to that information so that you can help support your body better.
Oh, that's some great advice. Okay, you have some more for us, so let's keep on moving. Everyday habits have a big impact.
Yeah, so your everyday habits like your fitness is something that we can use to help regulate our hormones.
Okay.
So whether you're having cravings or hot flashes, exercising is actually something you can do to help it. Same thing when it comes to our nutrition. Our hormones are built in our gut, so what we're eating directly affects how those hormones are being regulated throughout our body.
Okay, that's so wonderful. Such some great advice. Let's keep on moving to learn more. Nutrition and exercise should remain flexible.
Like we mentioned before, everything changes throughout the month or as you go through your phase of life. So really learning how to listen to your body as that goes through is important, and knowing how what I can eat this week versus next week to help support those hormones. And things that you eat, alcohol, wine, it does really directly affect things like hot flashes. So if that's something that you're experiencing, limiting those things is something that can help you to help treat the symptoms.
And should we be easy on ourselves? Let's say, like Monday you plan to work out, and then Monday comes around, potentially something happens, maybe you're on your cycle and you feel like you need sleep more than working out. Should you be listening to that internal kind of clock telling you sleep over working out?
For sure, and to some extent. There's sometimes where I like to use it as like a red light, green light type approach. So if you have your everyday approach that you want to use, well, maybe you come in feeling great. So what can you do today to make that maybe a more challenging one versus coming into your workout and seeing, well, I am tired today. So maybe I do need to rest. Maybe I need to do yoga. Maybe I need to go for a walk.
Switch it up.
Exactly.
Okay, so not necessarily not doing it, just switching up the workout altogether.
Yeah. What I like to say is our body doesn't know that we're doing 3 strength training sessions a month.
Right.
What our body's really going to know is, hey, I got those 12 strength training sessions in this month. So sometimes for me, I'm feeling great one week and I'll get 4 strength training sessions in, but the next week I'm not feeling as good, so I'll only maybe do 2. But I still did those 6 sessions within 2 weeks. So I'm keeping my goals flexible to stay consistent through them.
Oh, I love that advice so much. Okay, let's move on to the last tip for us here today. Simple, consistent habits.
Yeah, so keeping things simple. When it comes to New Year's resolutions, there's a lot of us that aren't setting them because it feels unrealistic. A resolution is an all or nothing thing. I like to set goals and I love a recalibration. So when you set that flexible goal, you're able to stay more consistent because moving my body can look many different ways. And so I can go for that hard hit workout or I can just go for a walk and stretch my body. Both ways are helping me stay consistent towards my goals.
So we're just touching the surface on hormones and your health. Tell us more about your book.
Yeah, so I wrote a book called The Habit Revolution, Things That All Women Should Know. And so what this is it's going to introduce you into what your hormones look like throughout the month and as you go through each phase of your life. And it's going to walk you through how you can use your nutrition, your exercise, your sleep, and your recovery to help to manage your symptoms that you're experiencing.
Oh, that's so fantastic. And where can people pick up the book?
You can find this on Amazon under Sarah Boyd, The Habit Revolution.
And of course, you have a website as well
I do.
For more information?
Yes, more information can be found at sarahboyd.ca.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us today because I know there's so much more information
There is
that we
a
would
lot.
love to talk about, but unfortunately, we just don't have time. So we appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Will.
Thanks, Melissa. Well, get advice, get inspired, get it done. You can win 4 tickets to the Ottawa Home and Remodeling Show, plus the grand prize of $2,500 in gift cards and a meet and greet with Sarah Richardson. The Ottawa Home and Remodeling Show takes place from January 29th to February 1st at the EY Centre. You can head over to ctvottawa.ca and enter for your chance to win. And at the end of the month, Ottawa will be the center of the Canadian culinary universe. 10 of Canada's top chefs will gather to compete. That's going to be coming up. We will show you some details about a chef representing Ottawa, as well as one of the judges and what we could look out for. I think they're hiding. Camera shy? Oh, they better get ready. 10 minutes away. Stay with us, everyone. A little snowy out there, but mild into the afternoon. Happy Monday, everybody. I'm Will Aiello.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And we have one more newscast to get you through today before we get into our chef culinary program. We have a chef competing. We have a judge competing. We're also going to talk about the Ottawa Hospital, so still lots to get to on our show. Right to our news headlines, we begin in Iran, where activists say the death toll has surpassed 500 as we enter the 3rd week of relentless nationwide protests against the country's regime. Iranians living in Canada taking to Parliament Hill Sunday in solidarity with the ongoing protests in Iran, calling for a regime change.
We, together with the Iranian people inside Iran, we want politicians to recognize Crown Prince Reza Pahlavi as the leader and provide support by giving maximum pressure on the regime and maximum support to the people of Iran to help them to get rid of this regime.
U.S. President Donald Trump says a meeting is being set up with Iran after he threatened action in response to a nationwide crackdown on demonstrators.
Iranian leaders, you better not start shooting because we'll start shooting too.
I'm of the view that actually an external military attack will actually embolden the regime and undermine the cause of the protesters.
More than 10,000 people have been detained in Iran, according to a U.S. human rights agency.
Tensions remain high in the U.S. after a weekend of cross-country protests against ICE. Minneapolis remains at the center of tensions as ICE agents continue immigration crackdowns. The Trump administration now plans to send hundreds more federal agents into the city. U.S. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says they are being sent in to ensure the safety of immigration officers. Protests in the U.S. have been happening since Renee Good was shot and killed by an ICE agent. The Trump administration continues to insist the agent who killed her was acting in self-defense. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne is in Washington today to talk trade. Minister Champagne is set to meet with his G7 counterparts to discuss critical minerals and supply chains. The meeting is being hosted by the U.S. Treasury Secretary. Last month, Champagne had said it's time to move on the extraction and refining of critical minerals in Canada. He also says Canada can help Europe move away from its dependence on China for critical minerals.
Artificial Intelligence Minister Evan Solomon says Canada is not considering a ban on the social media platform X. The social media giant owned by Elon Musk has drawn global criticism over sexualized deepfakes created by X's AI chatbot Grok. Asked if the government is considering taking any other actions, a spokesperson for Solomon said more information will be available soon.
Prime Minister Mark Carney is set to meet with Chinese President Xi Jinping tomorrow in an effort to break the ice and boost trade after nearly a decade of frosty relations.
We have to talk to each other if we want to make progress and address issues. We have now unlocked a path forward to address current issues and to build the enormous opportunities between our two countries.
Trade talks will be high on the agenda as Mark Carney makes the first official trip to China by a Canadian prime minister in nearly a decade. China has slapped a 100% tariff on Canadian canola, a retaliatory move to Canada's 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles. 3 people were injured in a head-on collision on Prince of Wales Drive. Firefighters had to extricate both drivers from the wreckage. Paramedics say all 3 people involved were taken to the trauma center. One man is in critical condition, while another man and a woman were transported in stable condition. This happened on Prince of Wales, south of Hunt Club Road yesterday morning, and crews remained on scene for much of the day.
2 projects allowing more travelers to be screened well in advance of crossing the Canada-U.S. border are set to come into effect this year. Public Safety Canada says pre-clearance is meant to make it easier for officials to intercept threats before people or goods cross the border. It allows travelers to the U.S. to enter the country or catch a connecting flight more quickly because they've already been cleared.
If you hop into an Uber or Lyft, drivers will sometimes offer you something extra, like a bottle of water, use of a phone charger. But one man in Toronto is upping the experience with lights, glasses, and a mic.
One girl give me, shut up! I love it!
Rideshare driver Bakir Ozel has turned into a social media celebrity, asking passengers if they would like to sing, and then he hands them glasses and a mic.
He's known as Trip Man and says the karaoke is not about making money, but rather spreading good vibes.
Oh my goodness, this looks so fun.
I can only imagine how well this does when we're taking crews that are going out for a night.
Yes.
You know, it's different like businessman 12 o'clock meeting, but then you think about the crew that's clearly having a good time.
Oh, yes.
Ready to party.
And so smart, because I would imagine if you had him picking you up and your tip portion came to be like a little extra, because that was just so fun. So fun.
True.
Spreading good vibes. I love it.
Because it always does come up. It's like, oh, feel free. You know what? Maybe I will. So
give him a little something extra.
Yeah, it's a good idea. He is going the extra mile in that case.
To spread the good times. Absolutely. Yeah. Our forecast today, it's a high of 0 into the afternoon, so the mild conditions will continue this afternoon. Normal is around -6 degrees. The sun setting at 4:42 p.m., so we do have a nice long day in the forecast for us. Still sitting at -8, does still feel closer to -13 this hour, so still a little chilly, but it will be quite warm into the day ahead. -1 currently in Trenton, -2 in Kingston. So we are seeing some light scattered flurries outside this morning. You can see on our satellite radar, there's gray this great little cloud that kind of moves through. That's the snow that we're seeing this morning. So some light scattered flurries to start things off. Snow beginning around 10 a.m. and it will continue throughout the day ahead, around 2 centimeters in total. So we do have significant snow on the way for today. You will probably have to shovel a little bit later on this evening. Most of the snow will be done by 5 and then tapering off, but we could still see some flurries into the evening hours overnight. It will clear up tomorrow morning. We will get to see some sunshine to kick off your Tuesday, but then late in the day on Tuesday, we're expecting more snow. So we could see snow on the way tomorrow mixed with some freezing rain and some rain. We're kind of right on the bubble. The purple, white is the snow, the pink is the freezing rain, the green is the rain. So we could really see a mixture of all three Tuesday and through Wednesday because temperatures really hovering around that freezing mark. 0 degrees is the high for today, same in the Valley, -1 in Bancroft, 1 in Trenton as well as in Kingston for today. 0 is the high in Petawawa, -1 over in Montreal. So for the next 7 days, it will start off warm and then it will be quite cold Thursday and through the weekend. 0 for today, -2 is the low, 2 centimeters of snow. 2 degrees for tomorrow, -1 is the overnight low. And again, those flurries Tuesday and through Wednesday could see it mixed in with some freezing rain or rain for Wednesday with a high of 1. Then the cold snap sets. We will see -15 is the overnight low. We will continue to see cold conditions Thursday right through into the weekend forecast.
Weather brought to you by Yekendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
On your roads, still no major issues. We are collision free, which is good news. The split into downtown still moving fairly well this morning. Westbound on the 417. Eastbound on the highway, if you're heading eastbound, it's still heavy at Richmond in through Pinecrest this hour.
Well, the 2026 Culinary Championships are going to be taking place, and we got Jason here, who is a former gold regional winner in the broadcast booth. Good morning to you, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
This is so great. A previous winner. How do you get prepared for something like this championship? And it must be really cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of preparation ahead of time, kind of thinking logistically how we're going to work out this kind of 2.5-day event, which is pretty nonstop. And just some trainings involved too, kind of like any competition.
And how have you seen it evolve over the years? Because it's such a great competition. You got 10 chefs kind of going into the realm of the competition. When you look at it year after year, has it grown exponentially? Are the chefs all helping each other?
Yeah, I think every year kind of the competition gets a bit stronger, and the quality of the chefs is just so good now. Everybody has access to so much cool stuff to work with and to utilize. So, I mean, really, it's just the competition level is just so good.
I love that. All right, what have you brought with us today ahead of the competition, of course?
Great. So, yeah, this is just a dessert that we have at the restaurant right now, and it's a carrot cake. So, we've got some macadamia nuts, some pineapple, a little mandarin dust, coconut, the carrot cake, and some carrot puree. And do you want to do it now?
Yeah, let's do it now. And as we get in here too, don't feel pressured, but we got Jen there, okay? She's going to be from the judging committee, and she'll be watching us go through this, not to put too much pressure on. But Jen, before we get to the carrot cake, can we tell a little bit about kind of the things that you'd be looking for during this competition?
Yes, absolutely. And I am just a regional judge, just to be clear. So I'm not judging this competition. You want to hear about the 3 events?
Yeah.
So event 1, is the mystery wine pairing. So that is Friday night, and the chefs get the wine on Thursday, and then they have to figure out what maybe will pair well with it. And then they go out Friday morning on a mad dash to buy ingredients, and by Friday night they're producing this whatever dish they conceive of that will match this wine for 300 people. So that's Friday.
How wild is that when you see them and then you rush through, it's like, here's what you go, here's the competition, game on. What is it like to watch?
Jason can tell you more than I can. It's incredible to watch, though, in the evening. I mean, it's a wonderful, from a guest point of view, it's really fun.
Right
I don't know
on.
about a chef's point of view.
Yeah, all right, Jason, well, let's get started about what we're going to make here today.
Okay, great. So we're going to start with our carrot puree. And if you want to do it too, feel free. It's a very quick dessert. So we're just going to put some down. I'll hand you the ingredients.
Okay, I'll follow you.
Yeah.
Very, we'll call it much worse, but I'll try.
And you're just going to put a piece of the carrot cake down after that.
Okay. Okay, it fits in. That's good step number 1 for me.
Follow up with some of this pineapple. I'll hand that over to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Our new restaurant opening up, Jason and Will's delicious dessert trays.
And then we'll put some macadamia nut after that. Take that from you.
Switcheroo.
A little crunchy coconut followed.
Now we're obviously taking a, not rushed here, but during the competition, are you hustling?
Oh, we're hustling. It's 2.5 days of that.
Oh my goodness.
Just followed by some coconut there.
Thank you. Ooh, nice shredded coconut.
Okay, and then this is the final piece. It's a creamsicle foam that we're just gonna kind of go on top. That.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Just lightly on the trigger here.
So have you seen people in the past go not lightly on this?
Yeah.
Okay, so light on. Oh, geez, I did it on the wrong side.
There you go. There you go. And then put a little dust on top, and there you go.
Just like that.
That's
so much worse.
That's the dessert.
And that's why you're the gold winner, and I am no winner whatsoever during this time. When you have a competition like this, how great is it to see the chefs just go, 10 of them competing?
It's so much fun, and they're all, I think, Jason again can, excuse me, clarify this, but they all seem to be rooting for each other. I think they make friends over the weekend. That's kind of been my experience.
I love that. And what do you say would be, obviously you want to find like the winner, but there must be other goals that you have with this, obviously celebrating all the chefs and what they do.
There is a charitable component. So there are 4 charities. There's Music Counts, Spirit North, the Nutrition Blocks, and the Ottawa Network for Education. So 4 charities. The 2 of them are national and 2 of them are local, but the money stays local for everything raised at the Ottawa event.
Oh, and you see that? We just saw a poster come up, 80% sold out. Is there still a chance to get in, or are you guys clean free?
There is still a chance to get in. So you've got the website there. When you get in there, click the Canadian Culinary Championship tab, and then you'll find the tickets.
Amazing. Well, Jen, thanks for joining us today. And of course, Jason, we got to try these.
Yeah, go
boys.
for
What
it.
do you say?
I think so.
Actually, Jen, would you like to try mine?
You go ahead.
It's going to taste good.
It's not all about aesthetic
taste
in the Will Kitchen,
Yeah.
We got to go deep layers,
Yeah,
right?
you got to get all the layers.
All the layers. There we
There
go.
we go.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah.
It's not bad.
It might not look great on my end, but it still tastes good. Awesome. Well, Jason, thanks for joining us today, and good luck on the competition, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Oh, man, I'm going to keep dosing up this. If you got a friend, you got a restaurant, you want to join us, email us, yourmoneyottawa@ctv.ca, and we would love to have you on air.
Welcome back. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam, and the snow has begun to fall. Melissa's anticipating a couple of centimeters throughout the day. Okay, the Queensway Carleton Hospital has started a 50-50 draw. We've got to find out all the information behind it and who else is better situated to answer those questions. We got Shannon Gorman, the president of the Queensway Carleton Hospital Foundation, with us this morning. Good morning to you.
Thank you so much for having us here today.
Shannon, 50-50 happening.
So exciting.
Okay, what was the decision behind starting a 50-50?
Well, it couldn't be more timely because we are celebrating Queensway Carleton Hospital's 50th anniversary this year.
Kind of perfect.
So why not launch a 50-50 just in time?
Okay, so what are the hopes and goals of this 50-50?
Well, what's great about this lottery is it's going to support the great work that Queensway Carleton Hospital does. So our goal is to have as many people purchase tickets so that we're able to fund vital equipment for the hospital.
Oh, yeah, the vital equipment, right? Can we get into that? What's needed?
Absolutely. So the Queensway Carleton Hospital is the only full-service hospital in the west end of Ottawa, and it serves over 500,000 patients on an annual basis.
Wow,
so it's a very large
incredible
population. So we really need to support equipment purchases, expansion at the hospital, and numerous things. So the support of the community would be huge if you could help us.
500,000 people go through the hospital. That is a very large number. I would imagine you're hoping to sell a lot of tickets.
We really are. And we're hoping that people will subscribe and purchase tickets so that every month, because this is a monthly recurring lottery, that every month will start the next month and the next draw with a great amount as a starting point.
I see. So you can get in and then automatically you're buying tickets, you're getting tickets, and the Queensway Carleton Hospital is getting that funding, right?
That's what's really important. People don't know, but equipment is not covered by government funding, that the community is responsible to pay for the equipment. So every year we have to raise an exorbitant amount of money just to make sure that we have the best best equipment available for our healthcare providers.
This is the first time, right? 50-50?
First time,
Okay.
and it's exciting.
What's the hopes here in terms of numbers
Well,
for
I
this
would
year?
love to see this grow exponentially. If you think right now our pot is at about 27,000, so if
Okay.
you subscribe or you buy a ticket, and ticket prices vary from $5 all the way up to $100 for 500 tickets. So if you join us and we get to 50,000 a month, that's over 600,000 annually for the hospital. So it's a really important endeavor, and in celebration of our anniversary, let's do it
Fantastic.
together.
Can you tell us about some of the important work that the hospital does?
Well, the hospital, as I said, we're an acute care facility. We provide services based from emergency department from the time you walk in the door all the way through the spectrum of care. So we're the little hospital that can in our community, and I'll tell you, with the help of the community, and the community has been so generous for us, we know that we're going to be able to do great things with this lottery and the money that comes from it.
Okay, the lottery already has a first winner, right?
It does, and it was very exciting because it was Craig Brunet, who happens to be an environmental services worker at our hospital, and we surprised him, as you can see on this video. It was so exciting, and he had no idea and was thrilled to win.
Oh, that is so wonderful. So how can folks get their hands on tickets and even signing up, like you said, for that monthly draw?
Yes, so QCH 5050, so QCH5050.com. You can purchase tickets right there. It's very easy, and there's a little subscribe button so you never miss a draw.
Oh, there he is.
There's
Look
Craig.
at him, about to be surprised. There, you're our
He had
first
no
winner.
idea.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And it's just the beginning here, right?
It really is.
He won $1,000. It
Yes,
looked like that.
$1,000 just like that, and we have our next draw coming up on January 16th. So for $1,000, and then at the end of the month, hopefully the pot will have grown exponentially, and we'll have a big winner right here locally.
Come on, let's keep it going here. Shannon Gorman, president of the Carleton Hospital Foundation. We're so glad that you can combine. We're glad that you started this 50-50 on this 50th year of the hospital. Let's keep it going. Keep those ticket sales going.
Let's go.
Thanks
for having us.
We'll be right back after this short break. There's a live look on our George Street. You can see the snow coming down. We'll be right back.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, I'm Sanaya Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barrhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barrhaven Ford, Ottawa's newest and largest Ford dealership, and Ontario's #1 Ford EV dealer.
All right, we're going to take a final look at the forecast for today. The snow's coming down. It's looking all pretty, Melissa.
It sure is. We're seeing some light scattered flurries out there this morning, and we are expecting about 2 centimeters in total. So this is what we'll pretty much see throughout the day ahead. 0 is the daytime high, so we'll be nice and mild into the afternoon. -2 is the low tonight, so staying pretty mild overnight. Then over the next few days, we will see milder conditions. Tomorrow morning, a break when we wake up, cloudy conditions, but then snow late in the day. We could see it mixed in with some rain or freezing rain in through Wednesday, because you see temperatures quite warm until Wednesday. And then the cold snap moves through. It will be cold Thursday in through the weekend. So I look at it like this. Great news for the ski hills the beginning of the week with the fresh snow. Great news potentially for the Rideau Canal Skateway when we see those cold, icy conditions. Perfect for the skateway. So fingers crossed it'll get back open.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at years past too, right? The fact that the canal was able to open just before the end of 2025, it's nice. Obviously, it's a shame that it has to get shut down a little bit, but for a little bit of time, like, you know, when the weather fluctuates like this.
And it's for safety and to protect the ice conditions as well, because when it got a little mild, you could start to see it slushy, and it's just not going to be great for anybody. No, it's not also good skating. So it's good that they close it and they're able to reopen it when the conditions are a bit better.
Skating on it, running on it too, we talked about.
Yeah. One of our writers runs on it, and there's actually a path for folks to run on the canal when it's open, right? Yeah, and you can run on it. I wonder if there's a little bit of slipping involved. I'm not sure. But anyway.
You slide your way an extra
There you
kilometer.
go. Exactly. All right, here's a look at what's on the show tomorrow. Looking back at 200 years of history as Ottawa celebrates a milestone birthday. What is the connection between food and wellness? We learn more with a local expert. And which generation is funniest? A local comedian comedy competition aims to crown the winning group. Which generation is funniest?
Interesting. I feel like that should be maybe our question that we ask our viewers. What generation is the funniest? I'm sure we'd all have different answers.
Depends, because this new generation, what are they called? Gen X? I don't understand their jokes, right? When they talk Riz and all these words that I don't even know, so I don't laugh because I'm like, I don't understand what they just said.
And I think that's what our parents used to say when I would talk language. Like, what are you even saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about,
YOLO.
Mom?